Good morning, everyone. My name is Neha. I'm from Information Technology, and my subject is of e-commerce. Excuse me, and my topic is authentication. First of all, let's discuss what is about authentication and introduction of authentication. Firstly, the introduction. The authentication is crucial for securing e commerce platforms and ensures that users are who they claim to be, and effective authentication methods protect against fraud and the data breaches and unauthorized access. This presentation explores key methods used to authenticate users and safeguard transactions in the digital marketplace. And there are so many authentication methods like password based authentication method and multi-factor authentication and biometric authentication. These are the three types of authentication methods, so let us discuss one by one. First of all, the password based authentication. The password based authentication is a traditional method which relies on users creating a unique password to access the account, and passwords strengthen and complexity are critical to prevent unauthorized breaches, and regular updates and secure storage of passwords enhance the protection. But this method alone can be vulnerable to attacks and like phishing and credential stuffing. And the next one is the multi-factor authentication, where multi-factor authentication is one of the authentication method, where in this multi-factor authentication it requires the users to provide two or more verification factors which can combining something they know like passwords and with something they have like mobile devices or something they have biometrics. And multi-factor authentication is significantly increases the security by adding the layers than hider unauthorized access, widely adopted in the modern e-commerce environment. And this is about the multi-factor authentication, where multi-factor authentication requires the two or more verification process like email verification. First of all, we if we log into any other systems other than us, it asks the verification code which is allocated to our mail which is allocated to our mail. So until that we type that code, we are not able to what we are not able to use that email. So this is called multi-factor authentication. And the secondly is the biometric authentication, and the last one is the biometric authentication, where biometric authentication is nothing but generally in colleges or staff uses the biometric authentication using their iris or face fingerprints or face recognition. And in colleges most of the students use this biometric authentication for the attendance recognition. And biometric authentication generally uses the unique physical characteristics of human like fingerprints or facial recognition or iris for users verification. First of all, the user's iris or fingerprints or biometrics are stored inside the database. So when the student are used to recognize their face, it matches with the database, and and it recognizes and the user verification has been completed. And this method offers a high security by linking identity to inherit the traits that are difficult to replicate or steal, and increasingly used in e-commerce, and it enhances the user experience with faster and the more reliable authentication, you reducing the reliance or on passwords. And the next one is the security challenges in authentication. The phishing and the social engineering. These are the security challenges in authentication. The phishing and social engineering is attacks that manipulate users into a divulging sensitive information such as passwords or payment details. These tactics exploit human vulnerabilities, bypassing the technical defenses, and effective education and robust verification and processes are essential to reduce the risks and protect the both users and the business from fraud. So this is the one of the authentication challenges. This is one of the security challenge in authentication, that is phishing and social engineering. And the second one is session hijacking, where the session hijacking is a security challenge in the authentication topic. And the session hijacking mostly involves attackers taking over a user's active sessions to gain unauthorized access, and this can result in theft of personal data or fraudulent transactions, or employing the secure communication and protocols, and session timeouts helps mitigate these risks, and maintaining the integrity of e-commerce interactions. This is the one of the security challenges in authentication, that is session hijacking. And the fraud detection and prevention, this is one of the security challenge, how the fraud has been detection in authentication, and how it could be prevented by the malware attacks or any other cyber crimes. We used advanced fraud detection system to analyze the transaction process to identify the suspicious behavior, and the techniques such as machine learning and real-time monitoring allow for early detection of fraud activities, and protecting the customers and minimizing the financial losses. And a strong prevention strategy integrates multiple layers of security measures. First of all, the fraud detection means identifying the fraudulent activities as early as possible, until the phone or something email is not in our control. Then we can identify, then it is a fraud detection means other person is using our email or any our mobile. So the common methods to identify the fraud detection and prevention is, first of all, the data analysis of the data analysis is more important. First, checking the usual unusual patterns in the transactions, and the rule based systems like flagging activities that break set rules, and the machine learning like systems learns from past fraud cases, and the audits like regular checking of records, and the monitoring systems real time tracking of activities. This is how the fraud detection and the prevention could be done. And there are some security challenges and some authentication methods we have discussed, right? In e-commerce, the authentication is more important because the in nowadays there are so many cyber attacks are going on through the world. So in order to reduce all those, we have to make the password based authentication. That means the password should be created it by your own, and it should not be shared by anyone, and it could be authenticated, and your details and your personal information should be protected by the single password. So by creating the password, it should be unique and it should not be matched with anyone. Like some people will keep the password like something at the rate some numbers, so it is very easy to drag the passwords, these type of passwords. So we have to create the unique passwords, and they'll mention how to create your passwords, like there should be a 14 characters, and first letter should be a caps, and some including some upper cases and some lower cases, and it should be some special characters. All includes some special characters is should be password should be created. And password based authentication consists of, these are the authentication methods. In this type of three methods, we can authenticate our personal information: password based authentication, multi-factor authentication, and biometric authentication. These are the three types. By this using, we can authenticate our personal information in laptop or something any else. And the biometric authentication is where frequently used in any other colleges, and the staff may use this biometric authentication rapidly to for the attendance staff attendance marking. And security challenges in authentication are, there are three types of security challenges, that are phishing and the social engineering and the session hijacking and the fraud detection and prevention. These are the security challenges in the authentication, which can be fraud can be detected and prevention. What are the measures should be done? First of all, the common methods to prevent fraud detection and prevention is data analysis and rule based systems and machine learning and audits and monitoring the systems. And the conclusion is, successfully e-commerce authentication combines the multiple methods to enhance the security and user trust. Addressing the challenges like phishing, hijacking, and fraud requires the continuous improvement of security protocols and user education, and implementing the advanced solutions such as multi-factor and biometric authentication is vital for maintaining a robust and the secure digital marketplace. Thank you.